So do women hold more grudges in life against former partners than men? What do you think about that? If you're a woman watching this right now, did the title grab your attention? Did you say, okay, what's this guy got to say about this? Do women hold more grudges in life against their former lovers, their former partners, than men do? Hi, I'm David Essel. A number of years ago, during a nationally syndicated radio talk show I did, we posed this question. Every Saturday and Sunday, we were on for 3 hours each day, and some of these questions that we would pose, seriously, the lines would get up, it's called banked. The lines would get lit up, banked lines, 10 lines at a time, just full, blinking, 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 as my producers would race to get as many people as possible on the air. And here is something amazing. Now, this is not an official documented study that I can share with you. I can only tell you how America responded to this type of a question. Do more women than men hold grudges against their former partners than men do? Who holds the most grudges against their former lovers? And the answer, astoundingly, 75% of the women who called in said that without a doubt they hold more grudges against their former lovers than men do. Of the men that called in, 50% thought that men might hold more grudges. But the overall amazing statistic to me on that weekend, 6 hours straight of taking these amazing phone calls on this subject, the most amazing statistic were of all the women that called in, they said, yes, we are at fault. Isn't that incredible? Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that a relationship ends and a woman is hurt. Whether she ends the relationship or not, it didn't matter. And that was one of the things I was fascinated with, because the callers that kept coming in would say, it doesn't matter if I ended the relationship, I still hold grudges against these 3 men I dated. It doesn't matter if he ended it, I still hold grudges. It doesn't matter if it was the right thing to do, we still, and the women were saying this all together, and they were all agreeing, one call after another, we hold more grudges. And what that looks like is that a relationship ends and a woman decides that they're not going to have any communication whatsoever with their former boyfriends or their former husbands, unless there's children involved, right? But they have a tendency, according to the work that we did on this radio show, they have a tendency to want to shut down, to not want to reach out. Now, what that means, according to the show that we did, was that 25% of women who called in said that they reach out to the men who they used to date, that they still try to communicate via email, that they might send a Christmas email, a Christmas card, a birthday email, a birthday card, that they still reach out. Fascinating, isn't it? So how did this all come about in regards to doing this YouTube video? Well, about 6 months ago, I guess it was, I had a couple that came in, and they've been dating for several years, and the woman was irate at her boyfriend. And the reason why is that they had run into one of his ex-girlfriends in a grocery store, and he was excited to see her. And so they sat in my office and we were talking about this whole thing, and I said, well, why is that so upsetting to you? And she said point blank, she goes, you know what? When a relationship ends, you should never have any communication with them for the rest of your life. And I said, tell me more. And she said, David, you know, when you open the door to go and be a friend with a former lover, you open the door to get back into bed with them. In other words, she had created in her mind, and now it was validated from the years before when I did the radio show, she had created in her mind and validated through all the other work that we've done here, that it is a threat with your current partner if he is involved or she is involved in any way whatsoever with the past. And you know, it's really sad to me. This is such a sad state to be in. Over the emails we get on Facebook and through LinkedIn and through my website, davidessel.com, it's incredible how many times this subject has come up and how women have said, I want you to have no communication whatsoever. And if you do communicate with your ex-wives, unless there's children involved, or girlfriends, that could be a reason to terminate this relationship. Now, if you want to comment on this, send us an email via Facebook. David Essel is my Facebook. Via our website, talkdavid.com. Go ahead. I'd love to get your opinion on this. Over the 20-something years of doing this work, this has come up more and more in my office about women wanting to shut off all communication with former partners. Now, I'm not saying that it's a wrong thing if you have someone that was highly abusive, if you have someone that was highly threatening to your life. Well, of course, it would make sense to end the relationship and have no more communication. But in our work, in the work of counseling, coaching, spirituality, love, relationships, is that it really does the person who shuts down the biggest damage in the world, because that means there's a grudge held. That means there's a resentment held. And unless something horrific has been done, lines of communication should be opened eventually. Now, sometimes if someone's really hurt, it may take 6 months, it may take 8 months or a year of doing work with a professional to get themselves up to the point where that they can reach out, or if they're reached out to, respond. But I want you to take this seriously. This isn't any kind of laughing matter, even though we joke around a lot on these YouTube videos. If you as a woman are holding resentments against former men that you've dated, and it has no basis in regards to threatening your life or physical abuse, etc., I want to ask you to seriously consider letting down your guard. Your resentment against former lovers definitely comes into play against the men that you're currently dating now or you're currently married to now. We do this work constantly. We've seen it over the years. I hope you'll consider it. In a future video, we'll do a little expose about men's greatest challenge with their partners. But today, we just wanted to share the information with women, okay? And hopefully, if you can release that resentment and release those grudges that you might hold against men in your life from the past, you will feel a lightness of being. You will have your heart open. The part of your heart space that's been closed down and blocked because of this anger that has never been dealt with, if it's dealt with correctly, and it almost always has to be done with a professional, you'll be amazed at how much lighter you'll feel and how much more love you'll have for your children if you have children and your current partner. Contact me at talkdavid.com if I can help you with this. If you see yourself here and say, oh my Lord, I want to change. And don't forget to share the video and then sign up for all of our videos at Super Slowdown right here on YouTube so that everyone will be sent directly to you, okay? Wishing you bliss and inner peace. I'm David Essel.